it's Sarah. I'm here with the first episode of Ask Sarah, where readers and viewers send me their questions and I answer them for you here online. First question comes from Leslie. My puppy constantly jumps and places their paws on counter tables and grabs things. What do I do? Now, when your puppies get on the counter, it's usually because you're staring at the counter, right? So when you're in the kitchen and you're busy doing things, give them a toy or a treat, or put some peanut butter on a licky mat or a Kong. So entertain your dog while you're busy. Second, you can leave your dog simply dragging a leash. So if they jump on the counter, you don't want to push them away or stare at them and say no, because that interaction excites them into thinking prize envy. There must be something valuable here. Instead, calmly take the leash, guide them to their mat, their corner of the kitchen, refocus them on their toy. Another technique you can do is blocking, where if they jump up, you simply step into the space that they're occupying. Our second question is also about a puppy. What should I do when my 5-month-old puppy is very tired and nips? That is an excellent question. Did you know that dogs are crepuscular? That means they're most alert at dawn and dusk, and they need a lot more sleep than we do. A young puppy is growing the majority of their growth till 7 months, should be sleeping 10 to 12 hours a night and about 4 hours during the day. Now, I want you to think of the crate as a crib and repeat after me. Crates are not cruel. It's important when your puppy is little that they learn to turn off distractions and take long naps in the middle of the day. So with your 5-month-old puppy, when they're tired and they're nipping, it's like a tantruming child. You've got an overtired toddler with teeth. So as soon as you know your puppy is restful, if you don't have a crate, use a gate to portion them off in a quiet room. Turn on some sound canceling music. They've done studies to show dogs like reggae and soft rock, and give them a bone to fester chew and let them take a nice long nap. They'll be in a much better mood when they wake up. This question baffles me just a little bit. I think it's from Gabby. How could I reduce dog frustration? My dog has desire to go to different directions. It sounds like your dog might have low frustration tolerance. So frustration is something all animals feel, dog and people included. Dogs with low frustration tolerance are often more reactive. They bark at windows, they jump, they're very urgent and incisive, they have low impulse control. One of the best exercises you can do is teach your dog to settle, and teach your dog that you will not pay attention to them until they are sitting calmly. Wait until they've calmed down. They're either sitting or they have a toy in their mouth before you come in. That helps build frustration tolerance. The settle direction I do, you can let your dog drag a leash, tie a knot, so when you step on it, the dog can stand comfortably but can't really move around. 1 to 4 times a day, tell your dog, settle down, step on the knotted leash so that they have to stand and be still. Most dogs within 3 or 4 days will just learn settle means lie down. If they don't and they're jumping, can't really go anywhere because you're stepping on the leash. If they bark at you, you've got to ignore it. You've got to teach them that when I say settle or settle down, there's no other option but to do just that. These things will help build your dog's frustration tolerance. Our next question is, how do you stop a dog who's obsessed with wood and sticks from eating them? I love this question. Number 1, dogs for millennia have been playing with woods and sticks. The biggest mistake we make is constantly diving and telling them no. When we say no and we grab the stick out of the dog's mouth, the dog thinks, ooh, this must be valuable because you're taking it away from me. They don't know you're not eating it. It looks like you're eating it. You take it out of their mouth and it disappears. What I recommend is that you tie all the toys, the stuffed toys. You can get a play pole. I love play poles. You can get those things for your dog so that when you go outside, The ground is more entertaining than just a static, empty zone full of sticks and rocks. Okay, my next question is important. I want everyone to tune in here. The question comes in, my dog is reactive. I've been told to use an e-collar. I feel bad though. Well, good for you for feeling bad. E-collars are damaging to the dog psyche, and I strongly advise against them. What you're doing is shocking or vibrating your dog when they do something you don't want them to do. Yes, they will stop doing it, just as you or I would stop doing something if we got shocked. Lord knows I'm on a diet and I could really use an e-collar myself. But it's not good. Puppies are like 2-year-old children. They're like forever toddlers. And shocking them just puts a wedge between you. It's very negatively reinforcing. Dogs are such simple, loving creatures, and we can use positive encouragement, structure, a routine schedule, and a little effort by everybody involved to teach them what to do instead of focusing on what not to do. Okay, this is a funny question. How to keep my puppy jumping on the couch? Answered by somebody who's sitting on the couch with her dog in hand. It is your choice. That's the funny thing about dog training, is you get to decide what works for you. You want to teach your puppy to stop jumping on the couch? Then put a comfortable mat on the floor, tether a leash to the side of the couch, and teach your puppy on your mat. Reward your puppy and give them bones when they're on their mat, pet them when they're on their mat, and when they jump up on the couch, calmly take the leash and guide them back to their mat. It's important to understand that your couch is not a piece of furniture to your dog. To your dog, your couch is just the higher rock, and they want to snuggle and be comfortable and do whatever you're doing. Doesn't mean you have to let them on the couch, but understand they're not trying to upend and frustrate you. Our next question is from Jackie, who has a puppy that loves to chew and play with a leash. Here's a quick truth. The leash with a puppy often looks like an entrail or a puppy toy. So when you're walking your puppy on a leash, carry another leash with their toy tied to the end of it. So you're baiting your puppy and encouraging your puppy to grab and carry their toy. Number one. Number two, put something that smells or distasteful on your leash. Some dogs don't like vinegar. White vinegar, you can just soak the leash, the end of the leash in that. Tea tree oil, just a few dots of tea tree oil can discourage them from biting it. But remember, give your puppy something to do while walking them on a leash so they don't grab the leash. Good luck. So the next question is tips for training free roam in the house when left alone 4 hours plus. That is a good question. I generally don't recommend you do that until your puppy is 8 months old. And this is simply because they are more prone to anxiety and separation anxiety. Given too much room, they pace around, they look out the window, they tune into what's going on outside the house instead of what's going on in. Until that age, keep them enclosed in a dimly lit room as you can. It's like the inner sanctum of a den, and slowly open up their freedom. But remember, a lot of space isn't always mean a happier dog. Dogs generally sleep when we go and prefer quiet spaces that are dimly lit and that have calming music, reggae or soft rock playing so that they can just rest until we come home. How do I get my dog to stop barking at birds when he looks out the window? Well, remember, your home is the den, the yard is the territory. Depending on your breed of dog, they're going to be excited by anything going on outside the window. Dens for dogs are usually solid, not fishbowl like in nature. So when your dog looks out the window, what I want you to do is just call him back into what I call the inner sanctum of the den. If he's barking at the birds and you go, or worse, you shout from behind them, they'll see that as backing them up, and then they'll excite to barking at the window night and day. It'll drive you crazy. If you have a dog with high prey drive, which sounds like you do, get a predatory play toy, teach them frisbee or fetch so that you can redirect that energy into the right outlet. Give it a try. The last question is a funny one. My dog hates leave it. Like, who likes leave it? Leave it is something you tell your dog when they want to do something that you don't want them to do. So with leave it, the key thing is that when you're training leave it, you always have to pair it with a positive. So I play the leave it, find it game. When you're teaching leave it, you don't just want to jerk your dog. Who would like that? Nobody would like that. If you want to teach them leave it, you've got to say it and then immediately redirect them to something positive. Your enthusiasm, let's go this way, redirect them, get a toy, or give them a snack. Give it a try. Thanks for submitting your questions. If you have more, please add them to the comments below or on my TikTok or Instagram page. And if you do need more help, I do virtual lessons and I'm happy to help you one-on-one. Meanwhile, remember, with dogs, you don't have to treat them wrong to get them to behave right.